Good morning, children.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Which chapter we completed yesterday?
Evolution.
Evolution.
Discussing some important questions of evolution. Just read the first, second question and the third question. First, second, and third. Quickly, let me discuss with you. You'll get to know which kind of short questions asked. Try and prepare them here only. All important questions which came in the previous board years. Side by side, we are doing that also. Yes. Whoever finishes reading, just raise your hands so that I know when to start discussing. Don't worry, you don't have to learn. You have to just read once. Hurry up, Pita. Hurry up, please. Aryan, Harshita, Sanvi, we're giving you another minute.
I'm done.
Okay, Aryan, Harshita. Yes. What is the first question? Let's read it. Okay, just see, define gene pool. This is the first one. The total number of genes present in a population is called gene pool. I had already explained when I did the chapter with you. The total number of genes present in an individual or in a population is termed as a gene pool. Convergent and divergent evolution. What happens in this? This language is very difficult. Convergent evolution is where ancestors were different and the progeny resembles each other. They're coming closer to each other, converging. And divergent is just the opposite. Ancestors were the same, but because of geographical isolation or any other reasons, what has happened is they have become different from each other. the progenies in many generations. See, single ancestor, main thing is this only. In divergent evolution, the parent is the same, single ancestor, the offsprings have become different due to environmental reasons, geographical isolation and all. Convergent evolution, parents are different, but some traits come in the progeny and they come similar to each other. This is convergent. No need to learn this language. Language you learn, what is there in your books we have discussed. Don't learn these answers. Adaptive radiations here. Process of evolution of various species in a geographical area. Adaptive radiation. It's a process of evolution in a particular area. And then what happens is it starts in one area, then it spreads to other geographical areas also. Adaptive radiation, like radiations, they go to all areas. So this is adaptive radiation. Biological evolution, we know only. It's a process through which what happens, beta? Don't learn these answers. The language is very typical. You may have a problem. Biological evolution is the minor changes, the gradual changes which come by genetic variations, natural selection, adaptations, and the fit species survives. Minor changes. This is biological evolution. Just focus on the type of questions. Attempt giving a clear definition of the term species. Everybody knows the definition of species. Don't go for this. Whatever you know, you can do. Okay. Now you have to just read the first and the second answers. That's it. Just the first two answers and hands to be raised. Ritul and Mansi already done. Let's discuss. Significance of the study of fossils. What do you mean by significance?
Importance.
Good. Dead remains that we have. See, they give us an evidence, they give us a proof of so many things, connecting links, missing links. Through the study of fossils, we can understand the environment which was prevailing in the past, and we can track the correct ancestry. What do you mean by ancestry? Ancestry means what, beta?
Ancestors.
Yes, beta, the study of the ancestors. What was various mechanism of evolution? Hugody varies, mutations. We had talked about this. Hugody varies, mutations resulted in speciation. Two types we did. Saltation, okay? Single step large mutations. Did we do this word saltation
Yes.
in the chapter?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, those who are present surely know that. Now, neo-Darwinism and examples of convergent evolution, third and fourth. Just completed the chapter yesterday, giving you an idea of what kind of questions are possible. Four students are saying they've already done this. Okay, good. Giving you an idea of the type of questions. Fine. What do we understand by neo-Darwinism? Theory that suggested natural selection as a major factor for evolution in the plant and animal species. Denies the inheritance of traits. Okay, it does not believe in inheritance of traits. It just believes that there's what? Only natural selection which leads to evolution. Neo-Darwinism. Let's do this. Identify the examples of convergent evolution. Convergent, always remember, parents were different and the offspring had structure similar. Flippers of penguins and dolphins. Tell me, is it convergent evolution?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
They are very similar to each other. Eyes of octopus and mammals. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, beta. They are also quite close to each other, quite resemble each other. Vertebrate brains? No. We've got so many categories of vertebrates and their brains do not show any resemblance. Here we have a resemblance. The ancestors were different, but there is a similarity. So this can be taken as an example. If in the exam it comes, example of convergent evolution, you can write this. Flippers of which two animals?
Penguins and dolphins.
Yes. And eyes of?
Octopus and mammals.
Octopus and mammals.
So this can be asked as two examples of convergent evolution. Okay. Next, analogous structures. We have done this in 10th also. 5th and the 6th question. Just don't go for these answers. You don't have to learn these answers. Answers, whatever you have planned in the book we have done, you learn the language, go for that. Just giving you an idea about the type of questions. Three hands already raised. Analogous structures, you know only. Analogous structures are the consequence of convergent evolution. As they're not anatomically similar. Structurally, they're not similar, but they perform similar functions. You remember analogous organs? Anatomically,
Yes,
not
ma'am.
similar.
Yes,
That
ma'am.
means structurally, they are not similar, but they're performing similar functions. Let's understand this. Sweet potato tubers and potato tubers are the result of convergent evolution justified. Sweet potato tuber is a modified root. Okay, beta? And potato tuber is a modified stem. That means the ancestors were not the same. Parents were not same. Sweet potato is a modified root and potato tuber is a modified stem. But both of them have got some similarity now. After many generations, both of them are performing the function of storing the food and vegetative reproduction, both of them. That is why we can say this is an example of which evolution?
Convergent evolution.
Convergent.
Here also, the structures are not very similar, but the functions are same. Same here, eyes of octopus and mammals. So these are all examples of convergent evolution. Let me do this with you. Sweet potato tuber is a modified root. And potato tuber is a modified
Stem.
additional questions wherever I found other than the book. This is it. Read the 7th and the 8th one. Right, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Significance. First, this one, similarity between the wings of a butterfly and the wings of a bat. And what do you infer from the above? What do you mean by infer?
Conclude.
Yes, very good. It means conclusion. What conclusion can you get? Wings in both organisms perform the similar function. Both of them have the similar functions of flying. Which is a similar function they have?
Flying.
Flying. Both the wings, the function is similar only, and that is actually what it is, flying beta. Both of them are used in flying only. Then, despite the structural dissimilarity, are the structures same?
No, ma'am.
No.
So we can always say that yes, there is a bit similarity in the function. So this shows that they are which kind of organs? Homologous or analogous?
Analogous. Analogous.
Let's move on to this. Class 10th, you've done homologous analogous. State the significance of coelescence in evolution. Coelescence we did yesterday, ancestors of the modern day frogs. Okay? We have done this word when we were doing, they are the ancestors of the frogs that we have today, modern day frogs. And you know frogs are amphibians. And when we talked about evolution, we said amphibians further evolve into
Reptiles.
reptiles. I made you learn that day many times. Amphibians, we had those amphibian fishes. First, we had Pisces fishes, then fishes, amphibians. From amphibians, we had
Reptiles.
reptiles. So, this is something additional they've answered. Coelescence, what are coelescence? The ancestors of the modern day
Frogs.
Frog.
frogs, who are amphibians. Frogs are still amphibians. This proves that the reptiles, these amphibians, further changed into what? They changed into reptiles. Question number 9 and 10 now. Just a reading. Just to read and then raising your hands. Okay, right? Significance of biochemical similarity among diverse organisms. Okay. See, beta, they are diverse organisms, but still they have some similarity. So, what is its important? Which kind of a similarity? Biochemical similarity. But they are different. What does this show? This shows that they had a common ancestry. Obviously, beta, if they are very diverse organisms, but some kind of similarity has come up in the latest generations, this always will show that who were same, what was same among them, the ancestors were the same. Read the question. Biochemical similarity, diverse organisms. Organisms are different, but there is a biochemical diversity which has come up now. So any kind of similarity coming in different organisms always means that they have the same ancestry. Comment on the similarity between the wings of a cockroach and the wings of a bird. What do you infer from the above? The wings of the bird and the wings of a cockroach are analogous organs because we know both of them perform which functions?
Flying.
Flying. Both of them have the same function. Structurally, they're different from each other. So they have evolved from a separate ancestors. Okay, this is what we have to just explain, that what is the similarity. Similarity is that the function is the same. And what conclusion we reach? They're different from each other. Why they were different from why they're different from each other? Because their ancestors were different. 11th and the 12th question. 12th one is what I did with you yesterday. We have just learned yesterday. So we'll see, it'll be easier for you to recollect. Okay, let me discuss, children. Fine. We were doing this one. List 2 characteristics of mutations that help in explaining evolution. 2 characteristics of mutation. Appearance of short-legged ancon sheep and appearance of new kind of cattle. This is not there in your syllabus. You leave this. Let's come to question number 12. 1.5 million years ago, Java man, Homo habilis, more than like, see this. Study the ladder of human evolution given above and answer the following questions. Have you read these 2 things? I told you don't learn the years as of now. Where did Australopithecus evolve from? Tell me.
Eastern Africa.
East African
Mhm.
basket.
Good. What was the
Yes, sir.
scientific name of Java man?
Homo
Homo
erectus.
erectus.
If you go back to question number 15, this is also related to what we did yesterday. Question number 15. 15 million years ago, primate that was ape-like.
Dryopithecus.
Dryopithecus.
2 million years ago, primate that lived in East African grasslands.
Australopithecus.
So these 2 questions were on the same thing that the table that we did. We may have more questions. Write the technical term that describes the following statements. Microbes developing resistance to antibiotics in a less time. This is again evolution through anthropogenic action, though this is not there in your syllabus, but still. Supposing some organism develops resistance very quickly in a very less time, then such kind of a process is known as, what is it called? It is evolution through anthropogenic actions. What are these actions called? Anthropogenic.
Anthropogenic.
Resemblance of placental mammals to marsupials in Australia, they're resembling each other. That means convergent evolution. जब भी बेटा resemblance होएगा convergent, जब dissimilarities होंगी, it is divergent evolution. Name the scientist who disapproved the spontaneous generation theory. Louis Pasteur. Who disapproved this theory? Louis pasture. 14, 15 we have already done. Operin, Halden model I did in detail with you. Just read the question number 16 and 17. Let's do it. And 18 also, it's a simple one. 16, 17, 18.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Beta. Yes, beta.
Ma'am, when you will send the work date sheet?
Date sheet. Actually, your UTs are postponed now. They are from 15 July, beta. Not last week of June. I spoke to sir. So he said we'll post it on the group somewhere on 1st or 2nd July. Earlier they were in June now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, beta.
Ma'am, online or offline?
Most probably it should be online, but cannot say what is the condition in July. Most probably it is going to be online, but still we are waiting for the instructions from the authorities, which really not sure of it. Looking at the conditions, cannot say anything. But I don't think for UTs you will be called online. Offline, sorry. Should we discuss? See this one. Let's discuss quickly now. Two postulates of Operin and Haldane. The art of, see this, the first form of life could have come from pre-existing non-living organic molecules. And second is formation of life or preceded by chemical evolution. You do not go for these answers. Prepare the answers that we have done from the book. Okay? The normal book that you have. Which is the reference book you people are using, children? Which reference? Tell me, which reference books are you using?
Ma'am, ABC.
Okay, you're going for ABC. And others, which reference book are you going for?
All in
All in one. All in one contains sufficient material for your board examination. Of course, if you want to side by side study for your NEET as well, then no doubt all in one can help you. Sorry, ABC can help you a lot. But when it comes to board examination, all in one is sufficient for you. All in one and NCRT, enough. Don't learn the answers from here. Learn from the book that you're using. Please do not get confused. Whatever reference book or NCRT, whatever you're using, only the questions have to be referred here. Rest, learning part has to be done on your own. Let's do this. What role does an individual organism play as per Darwin's theory of natural selection? An individual with reproductive fitness will be able to survive and he will pass on his characters to his next generation. I think we did this survival of the fittest.
Yes, ma'am.
Darwin's theory. Okay. What is fitness? This also I explained to you that day when we did the chapter. What is fitness of an individual according to Darwin? It always means which fitness?
Reproductive fitness.
Fitness. We have already done this. Rearrange the activities mentioned below in the order in which they developed after the modern Homo sapiens came into existence during Ice Age. We have to put them from old to modern. Which do you think was the first thing to be done? We have that. Again, this question is from the same table that we did. Yes, which was the first thing to be done? Tell me in these.
Prehistoric cave art. Prehistoric cave art.
Prehistoric cave art.
Okay. So first was prehistoric cave art. Yes. Second was
Agriculture.
because they started doing agriculture, they had to stay at one place. So we had villages or towns, that is human settlement. So we have done this in the table only. You'll find these answers. So if you see, there are so many questions we have found from that table only. Okay. Can I have the sequence once again from you, children? First one, let me speak. Australopithecus. Then, no, not Australopithecus. Dryopithecus. Next.
Ramapithecus.
Ramapithecus,
Ramapithecus.
Next.
Australopithecus,
Australopithecus.
Next.
Homo
Homo
habilis,
Good. Next.
Homo
erectus.
erectus,
Next.
Homo
sapiens
sapiens
neanderthalensis.
neanderthalensis,
And the last one.
Homo sapiens.
Homo sapiens,
Most important characteristic feature of the first one. Most important feature.
Large brain. Large brain.
We
large
always
brain.
have questions, beta, and ape-like or not.
Yes,
Ape-like.
Please remember these two keywords, ape-like and large brain. We always have
Large
very,
brain.
very short 3-4 questions from this table. Large brain and ape-like. Let's move on to the next category. Ramapithecus, tell me any two features which you remember.
walked more
Like
brisk,
man,
feet
like
like
man.
man,
Next is,
Australopithecus,
Australopithecus.
what do you remember about this category?
hunted with stones,
Good. Next one.
Hunted with
Homo habilis,
So very common, beta. If they have made stone tools, obviously they were involved in what?
hunt.
Hunting.
hunting,
Good. So that means they were eating meat also. They were hunting, they were eating meat. Next ones, features.
did not eat meat,
Did not eat meat.
Yes, beta, they did not eat meat. This is the main difference between them. Next.
Ate meat.
After
probably
this,
eat meat, Homo
probably.
erectus
We are not
probably,
sure. Yes, beta, we are not sure. So probably they ate meat. Next, which is the next category we are going to discuss now?
Homo sapiens neanderthalensis,
Yes, Homo sapiens neanderthalensis. Also called as which man?
primitive man,
Primitive man.
Primitive man. And what was the most important feature that you remember about neanderthalensis?
used hides
They
to
used
protect their
hides to
body and
protect.
buried their young ones.
Okay, and the last category which we still believe to we belong to, we are still
Homo
that
sapiens,
Homo sapiens. What about the brain development? Can we trace the brain development? Who has the most advanced brain in all these 7?
Homo sapiens.
Homo sapiens,
Yes, it is Homo sapiens. They are the most advanced creatures. They have a very, very advanced brain. Okay, let me ask you one word answers now. How many you can answer? I'll speak out. The water was broken up by ultraviolet rays to form. When I did evolution, I told you water was broken down into 2 things.
Hydrogen and oxygen.
hydrogen and oxygen,
Okay. Next. Stanley Miller's electric discharge flask contained which 3 gases? This also I have done with you. When we did
Methane.
yes,
Nitrogen.
good methane, water
Nitrogen.
vapors. It was ammonia, beta. Not nitrogen, it was NH3 ammonia. Very quickly, which 3 gases? Methane, water vapor, and ammonia. Now I'm revising the one word answers which are generally asked. So in his flask, Stanley Miller's flask, which 3 gases were present?
Methane, ammonia, and water.
methane, ammonia, and
Okay, I'm just taken up those questions which have come in the previous years. The word fitness used by Darwin is which type of fitness?
reproductive fitness,
Very good. Next. What type of evolution process do marsupials in Australia show? This also I discussed with you. Marsupials in Australia, there was a big figure diagram in the book, all in one. Which kind of evolution process is marsupials in Australia?
Convergent.
Hmm? If you remember that picture, we had one marsupial in the center and many all around like a circle. Do you remember that figure?
Yes,
There was
ma'am.
Yes,
one
ma'am.
marsupial in the center and आसपास गोले में बहुत सारे. That means from one we got so many. Okay, so it is radiation. What is the process? Radiation. And which kind of a radiation is this? Adaptive radiation. Because they went for some changes, so they have become, or you can say divergent evolution. Okay, next, tell me the next one now. The total number of genes in a population is called?
Gene pool. Gene pool.
Very good, very good. It is called gene pool. Let's come to the next one now. Name 3 factors which affect Hardy-Weinberg's principle. I discussed the factors which affect Hardy-Weinberg principle. Tell me.
Genetic drift, mutation, natural
Gene mutation.
selection.
Gene flow.
Excellent, beta. Genetic drift, mutations, natural selection, and gene migration. Very quickly. 4, gene migration, genetic drift, mutations, and natural selection. Excellent, beta. Yes, we move on to the next one now. Name the common ancestor of apes and man. The first 2 categories of ancestors which we did. Name them.
Dryopithecus and Dryopithecus.
Dryopithecus and Ramapithecus.
Very, very good. Okay, very good. Who is the ancestor of modern day frogs?
Lobe
We
fin.
did this one. Very good. Lobe fins. Very nice.
Lobe.
Yes, it is. It is which one? Lobe fins. Let me
Lobe.
ask you very quickly once again. Water was broken up by ultraviolet rays to form?
Hydrogen and oxygen.
Hydrogen and
Ammonia.
oxygen.
One more thing I would like to tell you, better recently a new link has been found. Okay, the latest one. We have got another category of after the Homo sapiens category now, which is known as Homo naledi, Naledi. Okay, just for your awareness for competitions. Recently, we've got a new link between the Homo sapiens. We believe that the last category was Homo sapiens, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
There are a lot of been changes. So we have a modern man. There's a scientist, Dr. Berger. He named it. So he has named the species as Homo naledi, Naledi. Chaliye. Stanley Miller's electric discharge closed flask contained which gases?
Ammonia, water vapors,
Ammonia, water vapors, and hydrogen.
And
methane.
methane. I want the formulas also. Tell me the formula for methane.
CH4. CH4.
What is ammonia?
NH3. NH3.
Yes. So whenever you write in exams,